Hi, welcome to this edition of Garden Guns, slightly blowy edition of Garden Guns. I'm basically shooting this video back to front. I've actually already shot the shooting portion and I've actually done the summing up already because the first time I shot this bit, it was rubbish. So let's try and do a better job on this one and get straight into the rifle. This is the AGN Uragan compact, and it's the Mark 1 edition. There is a newer version, the Mark 2, out there. There are some changes. They have made some modifications to it. You know, I think one of the things I've been reading about is it's got a slightly reprofiled barrel on it, allow it to shoot slugs a bit better. But we're not talking about that, and I have no experience of the Mark II other than, you know, seeing it in the shops. I do, however, have experience of shooting the Mark 1. I've had this for, oh God, a good couple of months now, I think. It has taken a bit of a back seat. It's been one of those ones that, you know, I've been going back to time and time again. You know, the impact turned up. I had also to do a test on a Priest, I think it was a Priest 2 for the shop. So this has been pulled out. You know, when I've had a bit of downtime, I've been plinking with this quite heavily, and I've got to be honest, I have really enjoyed it. Any more spoilers than that I'm not going to give. I'm just going to leave it to the end. So let's do it slightly different today. Let's start at the tail and finish at the tip this time round. So starting at the tail, the Uragan Compact Mark 1 has got an adjustable butt pad. It goes into sort of a plasticized, should we say, yeah, polymer based stock. It's slightly soft touch. The actual stock itself and the grip is slightly soft touch, but the cheek rest is, you know, it's basically plastic. But at least they've put something on there. You know, quite a few companies out there don't, and it's a personal bugbear of mine with these bull pups is not having a sort of a comfortable place to be able to get a good cheek weld. Anyway, coming forward, we're going into the pistol grip. You don't get any options with this rifle as far as I'm concerned. I couldn't get my thumb into a comfortable sort of thumb up position. You know, you are effectively having to grip the grip. You know, which for most people probably isn't an issue. I like, especially when I'm doing bench shooting, I do like to be able to have my thumb basically in a thumb up position. But that's me personally. Then we're into the trigger. The trigger itself is, once again, these AGN triggers. I probably call this an AGT later on in the video, but if I do, I apologize. These AGN triggers are seriously good. I really like them. I've been fairly impressed. I've been very impressed with the way that AGN are putting their rifles together. I think they're solid, well-made bits of machinery, and you know, the trigger is a really good example of that. I find it crisp with a definite let off. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, the first stage is, you know, very light, but it comes up against a definite wall, definite shelf, and yeah, and it's not a heavy trigger release, and the trigger is adjustable, but the way that this one's set up, it's not set up heavy, but it's definitely positive, but not so much so that you're going to pull your shot in any way. I think personally, as a plinking rifle or as a field rifle, the trigger setup, whoever's set the trigger up on this has set it up perfectly for me. Anyway, in the trigger guard, you have a safety. Pull towards you for on, push away from you for off. I don't personally like the in-guard trigger safety. I really like the cross bolt safety that they had on the Vixen. I like that. Or other than the fact that the impact had it the wrong way around, I also like those AR-15 style safeties as well. You know, the rotary safety on the side. I think that's pretty good. Right, into the cocking lever. It is interchangeable, I believe, left and right hand side. So this makes this rifle totally ambidextrous. You can shoot it either as a lefty or a righty. We've got the pressure gauge. The fill pressure on this is 300 bar. The bottle itself is 210, call it 0.21 litres, it says on the bottle, and it does fill to a 300 bar fill. It is a carbon bottle, and the rifle is regulated to give you that consistency throughout your shot string. Standard pick rail on the top, which you find quite a lot on these bullpup sort of, I hate to use the word, you know, military style. Okay, because it's black and it's, you know, it looks a little bit mean. People are starting to say, oh, you know, that looks a little bit militaristic. You know, it's a rifle, and that seems to be, at the moment, that's what rifles look like. You know, it's in the civilian world. You know, in the rest of the world, it seems to be heading more towards that, and we're seeing it within air rifles as well. So personally, I have no problem with that. It's a functional piece of kit. It does everything that you want. Everything is where you want, you know. Yeah, it doesn't bother me, and I wish it didn't bother other people quite as much as it does. Anyway, moving forward, we go into the barrel. The barrel on this is about 36 centimeters long. It finishes somewhere there. It is a CZ barrel, and I am a little bit of a CZ fanboy. I really love their barrels. I love their rifles. I love their pistols. You know, I've had the opportunity to shoot a few of their products, and you know, once again, the barrel in this it's superbly accurate. It's a cold hammer forged barrel. It's superbly accurate. I've not had any issues with any of the CZs I've ever owned. It goes into a shroud. I have shot this without the shroud, and this is the only air rifle I've ever shot that has made my ears properly ring. You know, it was, without a shadow of a doubt, I think it's the loudest air rifle when you haven't got a moderator or some form of moderation on it that I've ever had a play with. To the point where if I wasn't using it, if I wasn't using a shroud or a moderator, I would most definitely be using Ear Pro to protect my hearing. Anyway, so the previous owner of this has also added the AGT moderator to the front of the shroud arrangement, and you know, it makes a superbly quiet combination. It's quiet with the shroud, it's really a shroud slash mod, but with the extra moderation on the front, this you know, the chink from the bolt hitting the striker hitting the valve mechanism in there makes more noise than anything else on this rifle. Anyway, I think that's it. Oh yes, there's a little bit of pick rail, as there seems to be on most of these things, on the bottom for either a torch or a bipod, so you can fix a bipod to it. I think that's it for the walk round. Let's go and do the shooting part, which I've already done, but let's you guys go to the shooting part, and then I'll do the summing up, and yeah, I'll have a talk about it. To the shooting. Right, so here we go. Let me just check I've got the right pellets in the right thing. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, those are the H&N. I've been trying to shoot this video for weeks to get the shooting portion of this done. The weather has not been playing ball. It's a little bit windy to be shooting groups, so please forgive me for my pretty rubbish shooting, but let's see how we can do. So straight off, first out, I'm going to be using Barracuda 8s at 8.44 grains. 10 shots. It's going to be the left-hand target. I will speed it up, at least if I remember to, I'll speed it up. Let's see how we do. Oops. There we go, 10 shots of the H&N. There's one flyer on that. Yeah. Don't think that was me. I think it was maybe a slightly misshaped pellet. But anyway, right. Going to be doing the right target now. Let's get the magazine in the right way. Right hand target. Oh my god. Right hand target. It's my standard go-to at the moment with these bull pups, and it's the JSB Exact Heavy Diablos. 10.34 grain, and these are 452s on the head size. Good point. Wonder what the H&Ns were. So another 10 shots on the right hand side. See how this goes. There we go, 10 shots. Let's go grab the target and I'll have a quick summing up. Easy, Tiglet. Cat knocking over the camera. Right, so how did we do? Well, that's the Barracudas. I'm pretty happy with that group. I have shot better. When I was sighting it in, I think that was 8 shots in those on that center target. There's 8 shots in that. You know, so once again, not my best group on camera. I'm going to excuse the conditions. I'm going to say it's the conditions. Slightly blustery wind, and that pellet there was a flyer without a shadow of a doubt. The JSBs, that's a bit of a strung out group, you know, in terms of the vertical. You know, yeah, the wind is blowing up and down. It's sort of a cross. It's a headwind / slight crosswind. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, this rifle seems to prefer these Barracudas. I mean, it has shot exceptionally well. It shot pretty well with the Exact, the Heavy Diablos, but it seemed to prefer these. This particular rifle seemed to prefer these pellets more than the standard JSBs. Not to say that it didn't shoot the JSBs well. So, how do I think this rifle stacks up against a Mark III Impact? Straight off, I found this rifle a lot easier to shoot. Pardon me, itchy nose. It's definitely not as finicky as the Impact was. You know, yeah. I had to work hard in terms of sorting my pellets and you know, keeping my technique as stable as possible with the Impact to get the really great accuracy out of it. Without a shadow of a doubt, the performance on the Impact, because of those things that I said, is definitely just a little bit sharper than this, but you pay for it. You know, you're paying a lot more for an FX Impact, a Mark III, than you are paying for a Uragan. You know, even a Mark II Uragan, I think they're going out at 1,500 quid, and you're looking at about 1,900, I think, for the Impact. So, you know, that's another bit of decent change. Once again, do I think there's, you know, that leap in cash is certainly not commensurate with a leap in performance, or at least not for a normal shooter like myself. You know, if you want those final couple of percent, then the Impact's the way to go. But if you're a guy like me that's a sort of a pick a rifle up, you know, sling it in a bag, take it down to the club, or take it out into the field, or, you know, in my case, bring it into the garden and go and plink some flip targets, or, you know, knock holes through a bit of paper. I've actually enjoyed shooting the Uragan far more than I enjoyed shooting the Impact. Yeah, the Uragan's more fun. It's just a pick up and go shooting gun. So more my cup of tea. So I suppose the question is, would I spend my hard-earned cash on this? Yes, if I hadn't shot the Vixen. I'm still absolutely head over heels in love with the Vixen. You know, I want to get hold of one of those in 2.2 at some point. I'm even contemplating, I'm contemplating on whether to get one on my firearms certificate or not, actually, to go that sort of next step. Yeah, I might, yeah, watch this space. But this Uragan itself, I think it's a great little rifle. I really enjoyed shooting it. I would recommend it to anybody that, you know, is looking for a second-hand bullpup style rifle. I would say without a shadow of a doubt, you know, give this a go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this hasn't been too long. Keep an eye out for the next one. I am planning on either doing a pistol or a Springer next, short of anything phenomenal turning up in the shop and me being able to get my grubby little mitts on it. But anyway, all the best, and I hope to make the next video for you soon. Cheers.